Hey, welcome back to Aaron's 1972 Datsun 510. Today, the cutting out of rust still continues, but I believe we're on the sort of the final stretch of this. So, if you look, I've got to replace this piece right here. I'm going to go ahead and pop the spot welds here and see if I can fix that. So first, I'm going to go ahead and use my spot weld remover, and I'm going to remove the spot welds here and remove this piece just to see what I'm working with here. I think once I take off this top part, this other stuff will just sort of flake out, and then I can replace this piece right here with just a single piece that bends around that corner. I think that'll be the way to do it. But once I get that done, I'll then look and see how in the world I'm going to fix this. Look at this mess. Did you make this mess? You need to clean up after yourself. Gosh, look. I thought I was almost done with all this rust, and then I cut out all this more rust. How cool is that? It's pretty neat, huh? Alright, so, going back up to where we're working. I've got this piece cut out. I can see right into the engine bay. Looks really nice. Hello, engine bay. How are you in there? I'm going to create a template for here. I'm also going to create a template for here, and this is going to be one flat piece, and then I'm just going to, once I've tacked it into place or plug welded it into place, I will then bend it up right here and right here, and then I will put this piece in as well along the path here. So moving along, singing a song side by side, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get to it. So in case you hadn't ever seen this before, you just get a dirty finger and you trace the outline for your piece. If I was really smart, I would have taped this down before I started, so that way I could actually like replicate this if it moves on me at all, like it just did. So, using this piece of paper, I went ahead and sort of got it into place, and then used my finger to sort of trace out the edges of the cutout. Now that I've got that done, I'll cut this out with scissors, and I will then sort of replace it back where it goes to see how close I am. If I'm close, I can go ahead and cut it out of metal and go from there. Of course, it was a tiny bit longer than 11 inches, so I had to use a little bit more paper. Actually, can't tell where it ends back there, so I'm going to leave that there. Go here. I realize this now, cutting paper out, just attempting over and over again to try to get a piece of paper into the right spot. It was really not something you probably wanted to listen to, so I switched us to time lapse. So I made the remnant of the frame out of the thicker metal that I have there, and then I also made the little shield there out of the floorboard, which is a little bit thinner metal, and I felt like that would be easier to bend into the shape that I wanted. Hey, come take a look. All right, so I have 2 pieces made. I just want to pause here for a second and say sorry that I kept shooting towards the sun. This first piece is going to go right on the floor, and then I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to show you again right where it goes. So this one will go right here, and it is not going to go like slotted into that hole. It's going to go along the top here. I think that's actually some fiddling later. Going to go like this, and I'm going to tack it in place up here, and then I will tap it all along, and then right down here it'll go against this piece to reinforce. That is the piece that we're going to do, and I will mark where I need to spot weld it. Or plug weld it, excuse me. So I have this butted up to that. It's going to be between here and here. That way I can drill a hole through, tack it onto that. So that's going to go like so, right there. So so out. This piece, it's not pretty, don't care. That's going to go right here. So what that's going to do is I'm going to punch some holes here, 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 and here, and then I'm going to plug weld it in place, and then I'm going to bend it to where it's supposed to go. So it should be good. And then I will go from there. But yeah, should be interesting, to say the least. And hopefully that'll offer a little bit more protection along the inside of the car. But let's get to it. First things first is I gotta drill that hole here for this one and then tack it into place. I'm gonna do that off camera because it's only gonna take me a minute or so. This Skill orbital sander has been slowly turning on and just not working very well. And so I decided to take it apart and see if I could fix it. And I did. And I recorded it, except I didn't record it. I pressed the wrong button. So I'll run you through it real quick. Alrighty. So I removed these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips screws to remove and expose the inside of the sander. I then looked around, noticed that it was caked in sawdust, etc. So I used compressed air to clean it all out. I then started taking a look at the brushes. The brushes themselves didn't look bad, but whenever I pulled this one out, I found that it didn't spring like it was supposed to. And so my thought was, well, why doesn't it spring like it's supposed to? So I removed the clips here on both sides, removed the brush, found that the spring inside itself was completely collapsed, meaning it wasn't pushing back out on the brush, and that was causing the issues. So I took the spring out, I expanded it out, and then using a dental pick, I moved the spring out of the way so I could place this piece back in behind the spring where it goes, and then slotted it into place, and the sander is working like a treat now. So if you have trouble with these, that is all you have to do. Check and make for sure that these are both working, both the brushes are working. If they are, then you're good to go. If not, clean it, stretch the spring, check and make for sure these contacts are being made, and you could save yourself a little bit of money, and it doesn't take that long to fix. So I'm going to let this seam sealer dry for a little bit. Once it dries, I'll go ahead and hit it with some undercoating, sort of give it a double seal, and then I will hook back up the cross member. How cool is that? Almost done with this portion of the car. So you might be asking yourself, could I have possibly used any more seam sealer? And the answer is yes, but not much. I like seam sealer. I want all the seams to be sealed. If I see a seam, I seal it. That's what I do. So this portion, like I said, I will put some undercoating on it. This needs to be done as well. I'm going to leave the fenders open for the time being as I go back and sort of put the rest of the car together, because the fenders still need some work. But moving right along. Pretty happy. That's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click like, subscribe, as well as the notifications bell. Thank you very much.